Hello, everyone. In this lesson, we're going to talk about the growth in cloud computing. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll discuss the growth of cloud computing in a couple of different areas. The first area we'll look at are some of the financial projections for some of the top cloud providers in the market in general. Next, we'll look at the performance of two of the top cloud providers in the market. Following that, we're going to talk about some of the software as a service providers and how well they're doing right now. Then we'll talk about the job market a little bit, about the current shortage of cloud engineers and the salaries that typical cloud engineers are making today. So let's go ahead and jump into the content. If we look at some of the major financial projections, Gartner predicts that cloud services to grow exponentially through 2022. So the market has really taken off. Also, according to Gartner, more than a third of organizations see cloud investments as a top 3 investing priority. So no longer are companies seeing a cloud as kind of an experiment or something on the back burner. They're making it their top priorities now. Also, by the end of 2019, more than 30% of technology providers, their new software investments will shift from cloud first to cloud only. So now companies are moving wholesale exclusively into the cloud from their on-premise data centers. So this is an important trend now to see companies that are really putting 100% of their IT investments in the cloud. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next area. If we look at the performance of some of the top providers in the cloud, it's no surprise that Amazon AWS or Amazon Web Services remains the #1 cloud service provider. In Q2 of 2019, AWS reported revenue of $8.38 billion, which was a 37% growth. So you're seeing large growth figures in the 20 to 30 to 40% range for a lot of cloud providers right now. Microsoft Azure is #2 in the market, and they're investing a lot of money in their data centers and technology. And their intelligent cloud division of Microsoft in Q2 reported revenue of $9.4 billion, which represents a growth of 24%. So you're seeing a lot of quarter-on-quarter, year-on-year growth from the top cloud providers, and this trend doesn't seem to be slowing down any. So let's go ahead and look at the next aspect of this market. The last two companies we talked about were primarily infrastructure as a service companies. Now let's take a look at software as a service. Salesforce.com is the top software as a service cloud provider in the market today. And in revenue for Q2 for fiscal 2020 grew to $4 billion, which represents a 22% gain from the year earlier. So not only are infrastructure as a service companies growing healthy, but so are software as a service companies. And I should note that for Salesforce, it's a pure software as a service company. They really don't offer any infrastructure services at all. And so this is an amazing amount of revenue for a pure software as a service company. Sales Cloud, the company's biggest product, generated $1.13 billion in revenue, up 13%. And Service Cloud, the second largest division, grew 22% to $1.09 billion. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the job market and what impact the growth of these companies is having on the cloud services and the cloud engineering job market. All of this growth has caused a shortage of cloud engineers. The demand for cloud computing roles rose almost 33% in 2018. The growth in demand and interest in Google was one of the more interesting cases. 1,088% increase in searches and 1,082 rise in job listings over the last 3 years. Google is currently in number 3 in terms of market position behind Amazon and Microsoft, but they're investing heavily in their cloud capabilities, and they're hiring a lot of staff right now to really grow their market share. So estimates have Google Cloud really at 7% of the global market, behind Azure's 14% and AWS is 34%. So AWS still has a substantial lead, but number 2 and number 3 are investing heavily. And the result is all 3 of them are hiring a lot of people right now. So if you go out to the job listings and look, you'll see a lot of listings for both Amazon, AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud, or the Google Cloud platform known as GCP. So you'll see lots of activity on job boards and a lot of opportunities. So let's go ahead and look at and see what kind of income cloud engineers are making, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I went out to Glassdoor.com and pasted in some results of some salaries for different cloud roles. The main role that's displayed here is that for a cloud architect, and the average base pay is $142,606, which is a pretty big number. I should note that all these salaries will change depending on the geographic area. So some of those salaries around Silicon Valley and the San Francisco area probably skew these numbers to be a lot higher than they would be in other parts of the country. But nonetheless, these are very high salaries and these jobs are in big demand. If you look at some of the other roles, cloud solution architect, 122,000, DevOps engineer, 116,000, enterprise architect, 139,000, and IT architect, 127,000. So the point here is that these are very good paying jobs and there's a high demand for these. And certification is key for this. So certification training will help you move up the chain in these, starting with the entry-level certifications for something like AWS or Azure, and then moving your way up to the professional level certifications. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. In summary, cloud computing is growing at an incredible rate. Top cloud providers are investing heavily in new data centers and equipment, and this has caused a shortage of qualified cloud engineers, so it represents a lot of opportunity. All of the factors point to outstanding opportunities in the cloud computing market for jobs, projects, and consulting work. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for your interest in this video. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want to see more material like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.